extra time.
2 घंटे में डिलीवरी, विश यू अ स्पीडी रिकवरी। कोई भी दवा अब नहीं करो मिस, दवाई चाहिए एसएप तो बस एक अपोलो 24/7 डिलीवर करे आपकी पूरी प्रिस्क्रिप्शन सिर्फ 2 घंटों में।
Today, obviously, but when you're looking back on it in debrief, are you feeling like you got away with one here, or that this one wasn't settled?
I think from my perspective, at one stage it looked like we could have potentially had 40 overs, and I think within that period, felt like we'd have been able to create 9 chances on the surface like that. So in many ways, I think actually the weather's robbed us all of a fantastic final day's Test cricket, which is a slight shame. I think I'd be lying if I won't say India were probably in the driving seat going into today. But on the wicket like that you get a couple of wickets in a cluster and the game can turn on its head. Final day, the pressures of batting last on the 5th day wicket. Things could very, very quickly have fallen in our favour. And we've certainly believed that we'd have been able to create 9 more chances. So, if we'd have been good enough in the field and taken those, then we could have been sat here 1-0. But unfortunately, the weather's won.
Do you feel like you at least end the game in a bit of a brighter spot than you were after first innings, in that the last action that we did see was building a lead and then hunting wickets? Is there a bit of positivity about that, or how you assess the sort of dressing room?
Yeah, and I think actually we grew into the game very well. I thought that after our first innings we were well below par. We felt, having played and batted on it, came off thinking 250 on there would have been a strong first innings score, or at least par, and it would have made life a lot trickier for India in their first innings. That being said, I just still think we bowled very well. We probably bowled a little bit wide to start with, but after lunch we came out and we found a really good line, asked very good questions of the defence, and showed our class with the ball. There were a few glimpses of what we're capable with the bat in the second innings. I thought we played with a better intent. We looked like we were really enjoying and thriving in the environment, and you could see guys a little bit more relaxed, a bit more clear about how they wanted to go and play, and certainly feel like going into the next Test match, if we can carry that forward, then you'll see some better performances.
Obviously, you'll have discussions about the team in the coming days, but Virat has just said on TV that he feels the template and the balance of his side is what he thinks is right for this series now. We talked about before the series that you have a question to answer with balance, and I just wonder, over the last 5 days as captain, whether you are happy with the balance, or whether that is something you might look at again.
I think it's something that we will continue to keep looking at. Not something that we want to try and find something settled sooner rather than later. But ultimately, I think on conditions and where we're going, we might have to alter our side slightly. We might not. We might turn up at Lords and see things very similarly. But as always, you want continuity. Something that we haven't had, whether that be to rest and rotation, whether it be to COVID, to injuries, a number of other factors. There have been a lot of obstacles for us to overcome as a side. There might be more in the future. We just got to be adaptable, got to be pragmatic, and the guys that get the opportunity have really got to keep looking to stand up and try and win games for England.
Which side do you think will go to Lords in better spirits? Do you think the fact that you managed to get back in the game and deny India, who had made most of the running, puts you in a sort of better mood than them?
I think both sides are very similar. I think there'll be a lot of positives for both teams to take. You certainly go into Lords a lot more confident than we would have if we'd have performed how we did in the first innings. So we know there's a lot to work on. We know the areas that we need to be better at. We need to catch better, take our chances in the field, and we need to make a big first innings runs. It's something we've spoken a lot about. You've heard me harp on about time and time again. But we're capable of doing it. It's those big partnerships that we didn't quite get in the second innings, but I think you saw a better tempo and a better template of how to play Test match or bat in Test matches in that scenario as well.
The
about Ollie Robinson's performance. Beyond after the new ball, it felt like you turned to him perhaps more than Stewart even at times in that innings. So it must be great, especially with the Jofra news, that you've got a guy coming through and performing like he did.
Yeah, I thought Ollie's bowled extremely well throughout the game. He's got a unique set of attributes. He's got a very high release point. He makes things happen. He gets the ball to zip around, and his accuracy throughout this game was exceptional. I think more than anything, it was about the end and trying to find the right ends for each bowler. He seemed to find good rhythm at the bottom where it was quite tough for everyone else throughout the whole game. It was quite strong wind, and it somehow clicked in very well for him, and managed to do a brilliant job there. And showed what he's very capable of doing it at this level. In 2 Test matches, he's shown everyone how skillful he is.
On Zach Crawley, obviously scored that brilliant double century last year, but I think he's averaging 11 so far this year. Have you got any thoughts on his issues, and is his place safe for the second Test?
Listen, I think with everyone, I look back at my career early at certain stages, and the game does test you. It really does. You have to keep finding ways of first of all making sure it's as secure as you want it to be, but ultimately you have to be a very strong character. And I think Zach is certainly that. He's someone that's got great maturity at a young age, and he has to keep looking at bringing that to the forefront of his game when he goes out there. Keep looking to go and play in the manner that we all know he can. He's shown everyone that he can perform at this level, and next time he gets out there, he's got to make sure that he believes in that, and he really enjoys that opportunity to go and make big runs again.
So is he going to play at Lords, or is Haas an option?
Like I said, in terms of selection, we'll talk about selection over the coming days.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.